Hi guys, Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Are you ready to learn lots of stamping tips that are going to help you in all your card making? Well, I've got a project I'm going to share with you today, then several more samples to share with you. And along the way, I've got lots of tips that are going to help you not only on these projects, but on some other ones. And we're also going to talk about some retiring colors. And this is kind of my "you've been warned" speech, I guess we'll call it. Did you know that when the new catalog comes out in June, these 5 colors, we have Blueberry Bushel, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, my fave, Pineapple Punch, and Call Me Clover, oh, another favorite. These 5 colors will be retiring from the Stampin' Up! Color line. So, couple of things. If you love them and you don't have them yet, make sure you get them. But probably more importantly, if you have them, you use them, you love them, make sure you order re-inkers, packs of cardstock, and any of the other in-color products. Anything with these colors we know is retiring. So if you love them, grab yourself a couple packs of cardstock, make sure you have the re-inkers. They'll last you forever. Just because they retire, you can still use them. You just want to make sure that you have the other things that go along with them. So that's where I say, you've been warned. You know, it always happens. This stuff sells out quickly. So I'm telling you about this early in April. I mean, they really don't retire until the end of May, but I would grab that paper and re-inkers soon, because we've had it before where they sell out and you can't get it. And boy, oh boy, have I seen re-inkers go really expensive on eBay, and you don't want to do that. So I encourage you to hop on over to my website, place a Stampin' Up! Order now while these products are still available. At least I think they're all still available. And stock up on the colors you like. So that's enough chit-chatting. We're really here to stamp and share some stamping tips. So let me go ahead, flip the camera down, and let's get stamping. So you've been warned about the retiring colors, but today I'm going to use them, and then I'm going to show you several other samples that are similar to the card that I'm going to make for you today. So we're going to use Lovely Lipstick, and I have a stamp set called Breathtaking Bouquet. Oh my gosh, this is the most gorgeous stamp. And I've seen some things out there where people are doing lots of detailed coloring and embossing and watercoloring. And you know what? If you like to do that, more power to you. Me, I'm all about quick and easy. And that stamp just really makes some beautiful quick and easy stamp cards. Now it's big, it's considered a background stamp, so it will fill the whole front of a card. So now we're going to start out one of my first tips. Here, let's tear this off a little bit here. One of my first tips that I'm going to share with you today is how to get a really good image with these large background stamps, whether it's this one or any of the other ones. And so like I said, we're using Lovely Lipstick. Oh, here's another little side tip. We're going down rabbit trails today. If you struggle opening your stamp pads, what I like to do rather than open it like a compact is I hold my pad this way. I take my 2 thumbs and I press back there, and just like that, they pop open. Open them up, slide them in. So I think I get less ink on my fingers that way, to be honest. Okay, back to our background stamp. Now we're going to stamp on Whisper White. I have this cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. I really only want it to be 3 3/4 by 5, but I'm going to cut it down after I've stamped it. I do that a lot with background stamps because it just lets you, kind of trim it down after you're done and get, in case you get like an edge that's not real good or you're a little crooked or whatever. So we'll do that on this one. Now, rather than taking stamp to ink pad, which is hard with these big stamps, I like to go ink pad to stamp. So I just leave that laying there and I take my pad and I tap it all around. So we're going to make sure we get it inked up really good. Now also, if you have a Stamparatus, they work awesome with big stamps as well, because you're not trying to pick up that huge block. Okay, I think we're inked really well. So now I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to just lay it on top. Now this is where I kind of start at one end and drop it down. See, we're crooked, but that's okay because we're going to trim it. But this is where you want to be really careful that you don't move it and slide it so you blur your image. So I'm keeping this hand here. I'm taking my scrap paper here. This is why I made sure it was torn off the pad at the top. And I'm bringing it across, and I'm going to hold with my right hand as I bring my left hand up. I'm always keeping one hand pressing down to make sure that cardstock does not slide. And then I can use my other hand to press really good. So I go out to the edges, get the middle, just press it really good. And then same thing, when we take it off, I kind of flip that. I'm trying to keep it as steady as I can. And then I just flick up a corner here and pop it off. And look at that awesome image we got. Now, this is why, like I said, you know, we're not centered perfect. This one doesn't really matter if it's straight, but sometimes you've got lines. But when you're bigger than you need, then it makes it real easy to trim down. I mean, I look pretty good on these two edges, so we're going to use those edges. And so we'll trim down. So it's 4 1/4. I want it to be 3 3/4. So we'll trim it that way. And then here, we're just going to trim this one off. It's 5 1/2, and we want it at 5. So we'll trim that. And voila, there we go. So there is our piece. Now for our card, I'm actually going to make this a monochromatic card. I love using the cardstock and the ink that coordinates the same color. So we're only using one stamp pad for our whole card here. So we'll go ahead and we're going to put this onto a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Now don't worry about the measurements. I will, over on my blog post, I'll have pictures of this card plus the other 5 I have to share with you. And I'll have pictures of all of them along with the card recipe, the measurements, and all the supplies I use. So there'll be a link down in the video description to take you over there, and then you'll have all of that stuff. So we've layered it on there. Well, now we need a greeting. So for that, I'm going to use the So Sentimental. And I think I need to go grab a block. Hold on. And we're going to make it a thank you card because I make lots of thank you cards because I send them to all my customers when they place an order with me. So we might as well make this one a thank you while we're at it. And we're going to grab that lovely lipstick again because like I said, we're going to make this one monochromatic. So we'll stamp it. I can't thank you enough. Now, the So Sentimental is in the mini catalog, and it is bundled with this great set of dies. The dies work great with it. The dies are awesome on their own. I've been using them for a lot of other things, but we're going to take this one because I know it fits that perfectly, and I'm going to go run this through my die cutting machine. I'll be right back. There we go. So let's just pop that out of there. Now let's come back to our card, and I am going to use the polka dot tool. This is kind of my ribbon of choice if I'm not using baker's twine or linen thread. I like this. You can tie a bow really easy in it, and it's so soft and flat that even if you're mailing the card, it's fine. So when I tie my bows, I tend to flip them upside down. Someone taught me that years and years ago, and it will make your tails hang the way you want them. This stuff, it does kind of stick on itself a little bit, so you have to, this one I really curled up. But once I've made my bow, I can kind of pull these tails to get it the size I want. I don't want it too big, so there we go. And then we can trim off the ends. You know, when you're cutting your ribbon, don't cut it too short. It's really hard to tie a bow, and I didn't waste that much. You can see my scraps here. But when you cut it too short, it's really hard to tie. And that's with any ribbon, so don't sell yourself too short on that. So there's our bow. And then let's take our greeting, and we're going to use dimensionals, and I am putting them on the top and the bottom here, primarily because I'm going to stick this down over that piece of ribbon, and that'll just hold the ribbon down really nice and hold our little label down really nice. So we're going to just bring it in a little bit there. So there is that. And then we're going to actually take this and we can use dimensionals here. I think I used dimensionals on some, and some I glued it right down. But we're going to adhere this to another piece of lovely lipstick. Now someone asked me once, they thought it was kind of weird that I was kind of layering the same color cardstock onto the same color. So we've got white, lovely lipstick, lovely lipstick. And yes, it is the same color, but it does add just some dimension and some texture to your card. So let me grab the other cards to share with you. First, I want to show you the first one I made exactly the same way. Now, can you tell the difference? Okay, what I did here is I layered white under the white. So I wanted to stay with the monochromatics. I didn't want to bring in another color, but I wasn't real sure which one I liked more, so I did some of each. So there is our lovely lipstick. Then I have one with our grapefruit. What I did is I made the exact same card with all of the in colors. Now, you could do this with absolutely any color you have. And here we layered the white on the white. And then when I got to the blueberry, I went blueberry. And this one, I don't know if you can, you can see a little bit when I turn it that way. I did pop up with dimensionals underneath that blueberry layer. So it does kind of give it even more dimension and show, I think, more so that we have that blueberry on blueberry look. And I did the same here with the Call Me Clover. So I'm going to really miss this blue and green. It's great blues and greens. So there are those two. Well, then when I got to the pineapple, I really struggled with stamping with the pineapple ink. It just wasn't showing up like I liked it to do. So I grabbed my black, and black and yellow is awesome. You know, another good color would have been navy on this one, but I just stamped in black and layered then onto the daffodil, and the same thing here. So there are your 5 retiring in colors. So make sure if you love these colors, you grab them soon. Don't wait too long so you're disappointed. And if you already have them, make sure you have re-inker and plenty of cardstock, because once it's gone, it'll be gone. And if it's not gone by the end of the May, it'll be retired and we won't be able to get it anymore. So if you have any questions, make sure to get a hold of me. You can leave me a comment here, or you can hop on over to my website, which make sure you do that too, because I'll have pictures and all the supplies and recipes for you over there. So let me know if I can help you in any way. I am a full-time Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live and breathe this, and I would love to help you with any of your stamping questions or needs. If you need to place an order, make sure you hop on over to my website as well. I welcome your orders, and I thank you very much for picking me to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So until I stamp again with you in a couple days, have a stamp happy day.